Welcome to our first official episode of Beyond the AIgorithm, where we're so excited today to tell you about what is an LLM. Give you a little introduction on large language models. Here we'll get in just a second to talking about our goal for this particular episodes, but just AI in general. These large language models are taking the world by storm. It's pretty much every single day you're hearing about either a big breakthrough with existing technology or a brand new company that's spinning up, getting an insane valuation, and looking to capture market share. So, if you're just getting started right now, your competitors are probably several steps ahead of you in their research on AI and LLMs and using AI for business benefits. But the good news is, it's great that you're getting started, and we're here to catch you up. Just don't ignore what's the information and the technology that's out there, because it will cost you your business. Our goal for this particular episode is to demystify what an LLM is and talk a little bit about how they are going to change the world. So, what is an LLM? LLM is artificial intelligence that's trained to understand and generate human-like text. In recent days, we've also heard about different capabilities like audio, like video, etc. But the key term you're going to hear very often is natural language, and that's rather than having to write code to generate a given output, you're going and explaining as you would to another person what you're looking for, and having that result output to you. Many different sources feed into these models across a broad range of topics. It might be newspaper articles, it might be key literature, it might be scientific papers, all from trusted sources. And the result is getting an intelligent machine that can answer questions, generate content, and perform tasks just like a human would. So how do they work? Well, it starts with training. There a lot of content, as I mentioned before, from trusted sources fed into a model. The information gathered, and there's a lot of patterns that are looked at in each of these different sources to determine any kinds of patterns between terms, content, concepts, things like that. Pattern recognition, when you ask a question, the large language model is going to determine what content is most like the question that you're asking, and then it forms an answer, in natural language, as I mentioned before, based on the question that you're asking. And then optimization. The LLMs are retrained from time to time. They might be, retrained with existing versions. They might be retrained as a new version is released. Like, one of the biggest names that you hear about today is OpenAI and ChatGPT. And, you hear about GPT-3 and GPT-4 and GPT-5, etc. And each of these releases brings about a lot more training, a lot more optimization, and a lot more capabilities. In terms of use cases, you can start from the very simple use case is a chatbot to streamline operations and provide some efficiencies. In the past, you needed to have a human being that was on standby, at their computer. When somebody does a live chat, they're connected to a person. That person answers their questions, goes to the next person. Now you can have, an AI, a robot on the other end of the chat, where when somebody's asking questions, it can answer using your business's content. You can also use LLMs to generate content for things like blogs. You can have it write video scripts for you. There's a lot of other content. You were hearing about LLMs being able to interpret voice, generate videos. All sorts of use cases exist out there. You could do things like profile customers from their LinkedIn profile, pulling in that unstructured data that exists and being able to do things like personalize an email to somebody based on what is seen on their LinkedIn profile or other public data sources. You can generate contracts with the tool. You can use it for lead generation. There are a million different use cases for it, but these are just some of the more popular ones today. Some of the challenges with LLMs is that there's a broad base of knowledge, but what data they're trained on is not necessarily made publicly available. So how do I know that the AI is going to answer a question that I have? What sources is it using to answer the questions? Are they reliable sources? Are they things that are speculation versus fact? So there are a lot of questions that relate to how do I know if the answer I'm getting is a fact or is it something that was just generated by the AI, which leads to accuracy of responses versus hallucinations. If an AI gives you an answer that's not true, it's typically referred to as a hallucination. More oftentimes, you'll see this with things like if you ask the AI to give you a statistic on something and then you ask it to provide the source, it might say, well, I don't have a study or anything to, give you this answer. This is just based on, the data that I saw. In which case, that's not a statistic you could cite in, a research paper or, something going out for public consumption. Some of the challenges are around avoiding biases. I worked with a large bank a number of years back who used AI to determine whether or not to approve loans. The AI tried to piece together a bunch of different connections to whether or not it should approve a loan. It went and determined that it should deny everyone that lives in a certain area code because they seem to default on the loan. And when you kind of dig deep and look at that area code, it's predominantly one group of people, and it turned into an issue in terms of discrimination. So you want to make sure that the LLM is being fair, that it's not discriminating based on many of the facts and factors that are protected. And so you want to make sure that you're not turning your AI into a black box and that it's giving you not only what the answer is, how it got to the answer, are the steps repeatable, is it auditable, where can a human being get to the same answer if it follows the same logic pattern and steps that the AI went through. So in terms of embracing AI, companies that are using AI effectively are at a competitive advantage versus the ones that aren't. So feel free to look back in this video at some of the use cases we have, just in terms of other independent research you might be doing. There may be some quick win opportunities for you and some longer term types of goals that you may have where implementing AI may give you a significant competitive advantage. So please check us out on our website and fill out the contact information, connect with me on LinkedIn. I'd be happy to have an initial conversation with you to see how how we can help you embrace AI and really get the most out of your investment. Thanks.